Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Sunday morning, Coach Prime continuing to get it done in the transfer portal. We talked earlier on Friday afternoon. They had 4 guys coming in on visits through the transfer portal: Jordan Domineck, Taylor Upshaw, Micah Pernard, and Xavier Wheeler. They land their first commitment of that group of transfers. Jordan Domineck from Arkansas coming over to Colorado. Again, this is a big-time player, and we'll talk a little bit more about what he's going to bring to this team. Before we do, I just want to say thank you guys for the support you guys have shown. Again, monitoring what Coach Prime is doing in Colorado is one of the most exciting things that we see in this offseason. You are seeing a complete roster rebuild, and we talked about how many transfers he might take. He's already up to 21 right now. I still think that number might get up to 40, and he's going to continue to be active. We will also be talking a little bit about what Cormani McClain and the recent news, the latest news, if you will. He is scheduled to commit later today, not a specific time. So keep your eyes out for that as well. But before we get into it, I just want to say thank you to you guys. The support you guys have shown, absolutely awesome. The reason we do this is to talk football with you guys in the comment section. That's why I love making these videos, and the support you guys have shown truly means a lot. So if you do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. That is the best way you can support the fellas. Let's get into Jordan Domineck first. We'll talk a little bit about Kamani McLean a little later. Jordan Domineck, this is a guy that coming from the SEC, he started his career at Georgia Tech, and you see his 24/7 recruiting profile out of high school. A guy that was under-recruited, not a top 1,000 dude nationally, goes to Georgia Tech, productive there for his first 4 years, goes to Arkansas, breaks out, 7.5 sacks, 9.5 tackles for loss in just one season for the Razorbacks, and that is really impressive when you talk about that level of football, SEC level football, and this is a transfer that's not – Jordan Domineck isn't hitting the transfer portal because he couldn't play at Arkansas. He was a starter. He was one of the best players on defense for the Razorbacks, hits the transfer portal when he probably could have been a day 3 pick in the NFL draft, and winds up at Colorado. This transfer portal era, there's a couple different kind of players. There's some players who just are buried in the depth chart and who are very good football players, just couldn't really find the field. There are some players who just, quite frankly, haven't really figured it out at the collegiate level yet and are hitting the transfer portal to maybe just get a change of pace, change of scenery. And then there are some really, really good football players who are hitting the transfer portal and just seeing what other offers they can go to. That's Jordan Domineck. He is a very, very good football player. He didn't have a problem finding the field at Arkansas. He just hits the transfer portal, sees what other options are available. And hey, we talk about this all the time. If you're one of the best college football players in the country or one of the best football players coming out of high school and you're trying to figure out where you want to play ball, Coach Prime's got to be on that short list of where you want to go play for. The dude is very charismatic, and you'd be lying to yourself if you don't want to be a part of what's happening in Boulder, Colorado. And I think that is why Jordan Domineck chooses to go to Colorado. Now we're going to pull up what Colorado is, the aggregate results of what they're doing in the transfer portal. And again, it continues to be extremely impressive. Now, Jordan Domineck is going to be the 21st transfer in this class, and you're seeing a real good mix of what they're getting. Kavase Smoke, Jordan Domineck, Miles Slusher, those are all SEC level dudes who have played significant football at the SEC, and we're just kind of looking for a change of scenery. But you also see a bunch of younger guys too. Yusuf Mergerbil, he's from the 2021 class, a young guy that is part of the future of what Colorado is doing, and you're seeing them kind of attack from both sides, right? You want immediate guys who can help you win in 2023 because, again, we said this earlier, this Colorado team needs an injection of talent immediately, and you're not going to get that from younger kids, whether it's the high school class or young transfers. You're going to get that from graduate kids who have played meaningful ball, are ready to play at a high level at the collegiate level, and they're getting some of those guys, Miles Slusher, Jordan Domineck, Kavase Smoke, but you're also getting some young guys who you can build the future of. Because, again, Colorado's probably not winning a national championship in year 1, but I do think it's important for Coach Prime to win 6 games, to win 7 games. And so when you're going on the recruiting trail for 2024, 2025, and going into the transfer portal next year, you have proof of concept that we are getting better as a program. Because, again, this is a team that was 1-11 last year, probably the worst team in the Power 5, if you're trying to convince players to go to your school, to Colorado, you got to show that this program is trending in the right direction. And you're seeing Coach Prime target some of these graduate transfers that have already played at a high level. You know what you're getting when they come into your program. Again, guys like Kavase Smoke, Jordan Domineck, Miles Slusher, Leonard Payne's another older guy that's coming in. This is a really, really complete transfer portal class, because then you have some of the young guys. Travis Hunter, he's got 2 more years of eligibility at least. Shadir Sanders, another younger guy. This Savion Washington, who is a offensive tackle that a lot of Power 5 teams wanted, he's got 3 years of eligibility. And again, 6'8", 340 pounds, coming from Kent State. Maybe he needs a year of development before he's ready to play Power 5 football. He's going to be a very good football player. You have Taj Olson. He's a guy that's played really, really well for West Virginia for a while. One of those more immediate impact guys. And again, I'm talking about Vontae Bentley a lot. I think he's a very, very good college football player. He's a guy that I think can play. He's just buried in the depth chart. Trenton Simpson's probably going to be a first-round pick for Clemson. Jeremiah Trotter and Barrett Carter are 2 guys that will probably be day 2 picks next year in 2024 once they're eligible. He's a good football player, just couldn't really find the field because he's behind legit studs at that linebacker position in Clemson. Colorado putting together a very, very complete 2023 transfer portal class. And again, this is the best they've recruited out of high school too. You can look up their overall rank at the high school level, 22. That's a top 25 class. They have guys like Dylan Edwards, who they flipped from Colorado. That will get better. The fact that Coach Prime already has a top 25 class when Colorado hasn't really had a top 50 class in years is really impressive. Wait till Coach Prime gets a full cycle of recruiting at the high school level. I think you're going to see that closer to top 15, maybe even top 10, the way this is trending. Now, we got to talk a little Kamani McLean as well, just because the news about him has been wild. And when you talk about the 2023 high school class, if you land a guy like Cormani McClain, the number 2 player nationally, a player that every single Power 5 program wants, that recruiting rank in 2023 is going to go up as well. So here's what I'm hearing. And I don't want to say I'm some sort of insider. I'm reading what the insiders are saying, but I have no personal contact with Cormani McClain, nor do I have any contact with guys in Colorado or Miami. Here's what I heard. Friday, Miami staffers, I believe including Mario Cristobal, go to visit Kamani McLean at school in Lakeland, his high school in Lakeland. He's not there. So where is he? He's taking a visit to Colorado, and he hasn't verified this with anybody. And he even posted on Instagram yesterday that he was in Tampa, but there's pictures coming out of him taking official visit pictures in Colorado's gear, in Boulder, Colorado. And so it seems like he was definitely there. And you saw his commitment to Miami dwindling. If you saw his interview at the All-American game, they were like, "Are you still locked in on Miami?" And he's like, not very confident booster if you're a Miami fan that he's going to be still locked in and signing with Miami. So he's committing again today, January 15th. We'll jump on and talk about it when the news breaks. But there's already been a couple crystal balls that Kamani McLean will be flipping to Colorado. And if you think about, what that defense might look like, Kamani McLean and Travis Hunter are 2 top 10 cornerback prospects out of high school in the last 2 decades, according to 24/7 Sports. Imagine if you could get 2 of those guys, Kamani McLean and Travis Hunter, playing on the same team with plenty of years of eligibility left, playing for one of the best cornerbacks to ever do it at the NFL level in Coach Prime Deion Sanders. One of the most exciting stories. And you talk about how important it is, especially in the Pac-12, when you're playing some legitimate wide receivers in the Pac-12. You look at Oregon, you look at Washington, you look at USC. They have some NFL-level wide receivers. If you can have cornerbacks that you feel like you can lock down with and can play man coverage with and not really give much safety help, that is massive for a defense to do. And if Colorado can land Kamani McLean and then have McLean, who I would be very surprised if he does not start year 1. That is the quality of player you're getting out of a 2023 kid out of high school. Travis Hunter on the other side. Really special group of talent for Colorado. Again, not sure if he's going to end up at Colorado. It does seem like it's trending in the right direction for Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes. We will jump on when we get the news for Kamani McLean later today, but did want to give you guys an update of what I'm hearing from Cormani McClain and talk about Jordan Domineck committing to the Colorado Buffaloes. Again, this is a really, really good get for Colorado. Wanted to keep this one short Sunday morning, just enjoying my cup of coffee. But again, if you guys do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. We're talking a lot of high school recruiting, and it's really hard not to talk about Coach Prime and what they're doing up in Colorado. We appreciate the support, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.